King Island's roaring 40s weather, isolation, small population and reliance on shipping makes it a tough place to be a food manufacturer. Instead of being put off, though, Victorian Graham Wilson saw opportunity. Now, to King Islanders, he's a hero, for he's one of the 2 men who in March saved their beloved cheese factory from closing.
What I like is brands. I like iconic brands, even if they've gone a bit sad.
Graham, the owner of Australia's largest manufacturer of plastic pots and containers for the horticultural industry, has bought and fixed well-known companies before. It's easier, he says, to restore a tired brand than to create one.
The King Island brand is a well-known brand. It's a great product. That hasn't gone sour, and I thought, well, I'll grab that before it does go sour, so I don't have to spend so much money to bring it up again. It's been on the supermarket shelves for years. It's one of their top brands, so a lot of that work's already done. It was a bit of a no-brainer in that regard. Oh yeah, this is nice, Porky's Beach.
Graham's business partner is former merchant banker Nick Dobramilski, a whiz at numbers and doing deals.
This is where the roaring 40s come straight through, whip up the salt air and the salt in the water, and then that's how we get the beautiful pastures on King Island.
Islanders can relax. The pair aren't new to dairy. They own a small cheese manufacturer in Brisbane. The King Island deal dwarfs that purchase, though, for with the factory came 2 farms and 1,100 dairy cows.
Is it an act of philanthropy, or are you guys intending to make money from this business?
No, I'm not a philanthropist. We bought it to make money, of course, you know. It's going to be a bit long-term for us, but yeah, ultimately, if the business doesn't make money, it's not a business.
So you guys are here for the long haul?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to flip it?
No, this won't be flipped. This is generational, this purchase.
For 40 years, cheese has given the island jobs and a reputation for premium produce. The island's biggest employer, it makes the most awarded cheese in Australia. Mayor Marcus Blackie says it's part of the island's identity.
We're immensely proud of our cheese. It's the brand that really made us a household name around Australia.
Canadian dairy giant Saputo bought it from Japanese multinational Kirin in 2019. But last year, Saputo announced after failing to find a buyer, it was closing the operation.
It would have been a real kick in the guts, and it would have precipitated some sort of an exodus for sure.
Marcus Blackie says the island's jewel had been neglected.
Being under foreign ownership for 25 years, all of them had kicked the can down the road. They hadn't invested, they hadn't upgraded the factory, they hadn't changed the product lineup, they'd neglected the brand. And so the brand went into decline.
Locals knew what losing 58 jobs would mean. They still talk about an abattoir closure in 2012, when 70 lost jobs saw 200 residents leave the island.
Would a lot of your colleagues have left the island if this had closed?
Yes, I believe a fair few were starting to plan to move off, which is sad. A lot less people. There's not as many kids at school anymore, so it has been getting smaller and smaller.
Where would you have gone?
Weren't sure. Open suggestion. Mainland or Tasmania? Weren't sure.
While Saputo said not one buyer wanted the brand, Tasmania's Premier Jeremy Rockcliffe declared it would not close on his watch. We caught up with him at the local pub prior to the state election.
We did work very closely as a government and with the local community to develop a package that might be attractive for potential investors. And we had to play a bit of hardball with the company. That gives you more opportunity as an exporter, I suppose you call it. Yeah.
The Tasmanian government has supported the acquisition with more than $10 million in support over 10 years, including payroll tax and stamp duty relief.
We had to reach in to bridge some gaps, but it's worth it because we stood to lose not only the jobs on the island, but also the island's been built on, if you like, the King Island cheese brand.
The pub did put on a fair few kegs, and a lot of the community come in and celebrated staying open and all the jobs, because it affects the bakery, it affects all the other businesses as well.
A lot of people didn't really want to leave this island, but they knew if it did shut, they would have had to. So, yeah, big relief for a lot of people on the island when it got saved.
Dale Payne's farm was one of two supplying the factory. His 230 milkers contributed 800,000 litres a year.
How long has the Payne family been supplying milk to King Island Dairy?
Nearly 40 years now, so it's a big thing.
Is your family proud of that?
Yes, I'm very proud of it.
After the closure news, both milk suppliers started transitioning into beef.
It was pretty heart-wrenching, especially when they said that they were closing it. It really hit home.
A few months after Dale had put 3/4 of his dairy cows in calf-to-beef bulls, news hit that the dairy was saved. He was relieved, and while the other family chose to stick with beef, for him it wasn't too late to go back to milking. Nick Dobromilski isn't fazed. Multinational owners couldn't make the business work.
It's a niche brand and it probably needs that niche care, whereas sometimes if it's in a big portfolio, growing the sales of King Island is a rounding error to a group number. So, yeah, unfortunately it was a little bit lost. Morning, how's everyone this morning?
Very well, thank you.
Good, good.
He believes he can turn profits around by spending time in the factory, learning and listening to staff. One thing he won't change is the way the cheese is made.
So it's very labour intensive.
Yep. So, but that's the unique properties about our cheese and why it tastes so good. Unfortunately, if you want high quality products, you have to have labour to perfect it. I haven't had a huge amount of time just yet with all the change process, but yeah, I'm looking forward to spending more time here.
King Island's fame began with Brie and was consolidated by Blue and Cheddar. The old favourites are staying, but new cheeses are planned, targeting high-end delis and food service and export markets.
New cheese, new ideas. It's very exciting. We've probably needed that for a while, so it's very exciting to be a part of it and see where we go with it.
This brand used to be very well regarded in export markets. It just got a little bit too small, and we think if we go back into that market, it has a huge potential for success.
The new owners will bring the cutting and packing line from Saputo's Burnie factory back to the island. That's just the start of job creation as they plan to double output.
We won't be bastardising the product with high automation. You need to stick to what we know sells well and high quality product. That will mean more labour, unfortunately, but that means everyone gets a great product still.
Nick and Graham say they're far nimbler than a multinational. They've split responsibilities. The factory is Nick's domain.
He makes all the decisions there. He'll quite often ring me and say, look, we need to invest in this. What do you think? I said, if you need to do it, So we can make decisions very quickly. And I think, Nick's, you've got a long-term goal of wanting to move the factory onto a flatter area and rebuild. I think that's your 10-year plan.
Yeah.
Graham Wilson was a market gardener in his 20s, so he's interested in farming. That will be his domain.
Jersey cross here, Swiss browns for the higher fat.
He wants to lift production on their 2 farms, totalling 1,600 hectares. The first priority, though, is replacing the 2 old dairies. Graham's about to spend millions of dollars on 4 new dairies with 8 robots apiece. Open 24/7, cows will choose when and how often they're milked. Labour's difficult, but robotic dairies are very expensive. Why did you decide to go that way?
Yeah, we're here for the long term, so we're not thinking about a short-term buck. So what we're thinking about is long-term sustainability.
And on 4 parlours?
Yep.
Milking 2,200 heads.
Consultants from the Dutch agricultural machinery and robotic company Landline were measuring when Landline visited. Manager Daniel McGrath says it will be one of his company's biggest sales in Australia.
To see 8 robotic dairies under one ownership, that'll be as big as we've ever seen in a grazing region or in our grazing region. So yeah, it's a huge adventure.
Expectations are milk production will increase as most cows will choose to be milked more than the usual twice a day. Nick wants to double their cow numbers.
The factory used to produce 40 million litres of milk a year, and now we're down to 6.5 million litres across our 2 farms and then one other farmer. It is an expensive asset to run a factory, so yeah, one thing that we will be doing is increasing the herd.
Dale Payne can lift supply and has heard whispers some beef producers are considering switching to dairy. Nick confirmed those conversations are happening.
It's a regular paycheck each month that we can give farmers, so we won't be able to convert everyone, but it's on our radar. And we're speaking to a couple of people on the island now that are interested in getting back.
The good ones is it's automated.
The pair are looking to buy more land too.
We'll continue to buy and expand until we get enough milk. Now, we either have to do that ourselves, and we do that organically, or we get other people here on the island to go back into milking.
The whole island is relieved, including the mayor. A trained cheesemaker who's worked at the factory, he's sick of paying $9 for 2 litres of milk imported from the mainland.
If they can increase the available milk supply here on King Island such that they can bottle and sell to locals, that would be fantastic. That's the holy grail. We want our local milk back again. I know that will be very popular and I'll be first in line.
Nick's bought the machinery and says it will happen. The 2 blokes from the mainland have a lot to live up to, but say they have the skills and the money to turn the island's famous business around.
It's going to get some love again, so I feel very proud and responsible, but yeah, I share that responsibility with everyone.
The government has put a lot of trust in us. You could have forced it to go to another buyer, but we'll try to make sure we don't let the island down, or ourselves for that matter.
Yeah.